We're looking at the triple flow box filter made by Lee's Aquarium and Pet Product. I believe I actually got this in a My Aquarium box. That was pretty nice. I want to do a little bit of a review of this box filter. I actually want to go ahead and see if I can hot rod this thing out, soup it up a little bit, and just make it more powerful. Don't go anywhere. Well, some of you might have seen the video I did about a week ago when I collected some guppies from a 2,000-gallon koi pond. Well, I have these guppies quarantining right now in a 5-gallon bucket just to save space and medication. And that's another story for another video. But I do have a 10-gallon aquarium ready to rock and roll for these guppies as their new quarantine tank. And that's what this box filter's for. So I'm sitting here with this box filter. We're gonna do a little bit of a quick review and unboxing of this filter. I wanna go ahead and just show you guys how it comes out of the box right from the get-go before we get crazy with this thing. We're looking at a whole bunch of little pieces inside two main pieces here. We got the lid. We have the a little piece of airline hose. Let's see. There is this this little disc piece. This is a base that goes on the bottom to keep it up off of the bottom of the tank. That's pretty cool. Just leave that on there. It looks like we have a little air stone here, as well as the plastic parts to go with it. I believe that would just go on there like that and go on an airline. It looks like you actually take the hose and run it through the top of the lid, and then you put your air stone on it. And then you drop the air stone down into this piece, and you can adjust this so that it will close up. And it looks like that's pretty much how it works. And of course, you're gonna fill this with your media, right? For those of you that don't know how this filter works, it's just like a sponge filter. You create a flow of air, and it's gonna run up this direction, and it's gonna create a vacuum, and it's gonna pull water with it up and out through the top, just like a sponge filter. But in this case, you can kind of hot rod this thing out. You can put whatever you want in here. That's what's really cool about box filters. This is really an old school thing. It's one of the original designs. Even just put this jars full of media and a little airline sticking down into it, you know, and it works. It works wonders. But we're gonna go ahead and soup this thing up and take it up just a notch or two. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can put into these box filters. Obviously, you can use a lot of different biological media and mechanical filtration media. You can go with different bio rings, bio balls. You've got the Fluval Biomax. I got some of these. I believe I got these in a My Aquarium box as well. And then we even have the My Aquarium box brand pumice stone filter media, which I really like. As you can tell, I've used almost the whole bag of that. And then I got this from Aquachar, good old guys over there at aquachar.com. Some really nice charcoal, natural charcoal at high temperature. And this really works as both mechanical and biological for sure. Another thing that a lot of people really like to put into these box filters is some polyfill or some filter floss or something like this. This is a really nice media just to polish off the water just a little bit more at the end and get a lot of the suspended solids out of the water. Now I also have these. This is the Chemi Pure Green Nano. This is just it's an active carbon and ion exchange resin. These came in my aquarium box as well. And these don't last very long, but they do soak up a bunch of nasty stuff out of the water and help keep the water clean. So I'm gonna put a couple of these in here just to hot rod this out, because this is going into a quarantine tank. Within a week or so, this whole filtration system is going to get broken down and this is going to get sterilized. One last thing that I want to do to soup this up a little bit more, what makes all the difference with a filter like this or even a sponge filter is the lift. So the more lift you have, the more vacuum you're going to be able to create with the same amount of airflow. So I just happen to have a nice little piece of plastic tubing here. I'm going to have to cut off to get these little pieces out of here. I'm going to have to cut off the tip here, but I've already checked it and it fits pretty well. So I'm going to be able to hot rod it by creating a lot more lift on this box filter. And then I also have, of course, more air lines so that I can really get this to my air manifold and not play with this little doohickey right here. So we have all this cool stuff to work with. Let's see what kind of hot rodded box filter we can create. Well, I managed to get those little pieces out of here without completely destroying this thing. So this tube should fit right in there pretty snug. Look at that. Look at that. That is awesome. That increased the lift so much. You know, that's 10 times as much lift right there. That is awesome. That is really awesome. And now with this longer piece of airline tubing, I can go ahead and just run that right down through here with the air stone on the end. Now the lift right here alone just hot rodded this box filter completely 10 times just by doing that, really creating that flow as well. So we have that, but besides that, we really need to get into these different medias that we're gonna put inside of here. Now let's get this little piece out of the way. Now I failed to mention there was one more piece inside of this box filter that comes out, and it's this little tray that kind of resembles an under gravel filter that you'd have in old school aquariums as well. There's a little bit of a grate here at the bottom so that things can't fall through, but the water can come through there. So what happens is the water is going to get pulled in through these 3 ports on the corners of this box filter, and then it's going to run through all of the different medias, the mechanical and biological medias that we're going to go ahead and add to this filter. So I went ahead and cleaned and prepared some of these medias. I have the charcoal here. I do recommend rinsing and cleaning all of your filter media before you put it into your aquarium, just to make sure you get any dust and residues and things like that off of there, and you never know about anything else. So we have the pumice stone as well right here. And then just for the fun of it, because they are pretty big, I went ahead and put in, I cleaned some bio rings, and I'm gonna mix the bio rings in with this pumice stone, kind of in the same layer, I think is what I'm gonna do. And then, like I said before, we're gonna go ahead and add just one of these Chemi Pure packs, and then in about 3 or 4 days, maybe a week, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this and replace it with another one. And like I said, I'm only really using this because it's a quarantine tank and I'm trying to really keep the water clean. It's a bare bottom tank with lots of medication and all that good stuff. Let me go ahead and bring you a little bit closer and let's put this thing together. Let's go ahead and see if we can do this without making too much of a mess. So let's see how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna go ahead and put the pumice stone in first. I'm gonna add that right at the bottom, basically. And I'm not even gonna use all of this. You'll see that this thing is going to fill up pretty quickly. It's definitely gonna fill up pretty quickly. So don't get overzealous and put too much of one thing in there, right off the bat, and then there's not gonna be any room for anything else. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and stop right there with that. Now I wanna go ahead and add the bio rings. Let's see, I don't know, I guess we will just go ahead. Throw all those bio rings in there. That's not too bad. Maybe I'll put a little bit of pumice stone because in the end, I'm going to add the charcoal and then the polyfill is going to cap the whole thing to polish the rest of the water off at the end. So let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and just level off this layer basically and fill in those bio rings, around those bio rings with the rest of those pumice stones. And if I just shake it, I can actually pack it in a little bit more. Let's go ahead and put them all in there. I'm liking that. That's not too bad. It is starting to fill up though. Definitely starting to fill up. So let's go ahead and get our charcoal in here on top of the pumice stone and the bio rings. And get that in here. I got this awesome guy downstairs with the metal grinder grinding away. That's pretty awesome. But I'm just gonna have to ignore him today. Now we got the charcoal in here and it's looking good. I'm just gonna kind of spread it out evenly, pack it down just a little bit. I like to use this kind of charcoal more as a biological media long term because of all the surface area, all the raw natural surface area, because it is not like a compressed, this charcoal is not like the compressed pellets. So there's really a lot of surface area on that. Now I even rinsed off my filter floss a little bit. I rinse it off in the sink just to make sure, you know, just to make sure. Rinse it off, strain it out a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and pack this in, and I'm gonna even go around, you wanna go ahead and just go around the back side. Make sure you fill in this back side here behind where the lift tube is. Just gonna go ahead and fill this stuff in here. Pack it in just a little bit. It'll definitely all fit once you put the cap on here. And last but not least, now that I've got everything in there, it's a nice little layer. We've got the pumice, we've got the bio rings, we've got a little bit of organic natural charcoal, and then we have the filter floss or the polyfill at the top. And then, you know, it looks like it's overflowing, but this has a little bit of room in it too. See that? The cap has some room in it, so there will be room for this ChemiPure Green Nano Pack. So let's get this open. Now, this is looking pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse this under the sink real quick for a second. Bam, I'm back. It's nice and clean, rinsed off. Just kind of want to activate that carbon and just rinse out any weird residues and things like that. So this should fit right on top, just like that. And I should be able to put that right on top there. So that fits quite well, but we got to go ahead and get this air line hooked up real quick. So I'm just going to go ahead and run this down to the bottom. We're going to go ahead and put that on top just like that. Oop, something made a noise. Hope everybody's happy. That popped on there actually pretty nicely. And we have the air stone all the way down there at the bottom, right there. So there we have it. That's some serious lift we have there. It's definitely a lot more lift than it would come out of the box. And there's definitely a lot of different filter medias in here than most people would probably put in there. This is definitely gonna work well for quarantining these guppy fish. So let's go ahead and get this new hot rodded box filter in this quarantine tank. So we have this 10-gallon quarantine tank that I set up a little bit earlier today with some RODI water. And then we have our box filter right here, ready to go. Airline plugged into the manifold and fired up. And go ahead and just drop this in here and see if we can get some water into it. So there we have it. We have the Lee's Aquarium and Pet Product box filter. It's the triple flow box filter, but nicely hot rodded out. We have the pumice stone, we have the bio rings, we have some organic carbon, we have some polyfill, and then the ChemiPure, you know, polishing bag or so, whatever you want to call that. And it's looking really nice. This is going to go ahead, I'm going to let this kind of cycle, so to speak, let the water get filtered, and maybe even do a tiny little bit of a water change on it or something before I use this as a quarantine tank. But this filter will do really well for this QT tank, and then it's really easy to break this filter down when I'm done with these fish. I can totally break this down, literally just throw away that media and sterilize this filter in some you know, bleach water, hydrogen peroxide water, and then be able to reuse that filter housing, that box filter housing, for something else in the future. Besides that, right next door we have the blue tetras. The blue tetras are so happy. I've got new fry in this tank and in this tank, and this is a new tank. This is 3.0. This is I've got about 5 or 6 fry up here, and that's a new development. So I finally have breeding happening in tank number 3. And then down below we have tank number 4, and I gotta get a little project going on. I'm gonna take some hormones from this fry tank with about 200 fry or so in here, and we're gonna go ahead and take some of that water with the hormones from all those fry, and we're gonna try to get these tetras in here to spawn or to breed because of that. We'll see if it works. We'll try that out and see what happens. Besides that, the blue bolts are doing good down here. Everybody's happy down here. They're doing better. They're out and about a lot more. That's for sure. These guppies are going to get in there. Gonna do a little bit more medication while it's in the bucket. I'm gonna make a video about that. Check that out on Friday. We're gonna get these guys all ready to go. I'm gonna show you how I save money, save time, save medication, and get it done. So check that out on Friday. Besides that, everybody else in the living room is doing good. All of the grow out tubs are happy. This could use some more water, don't you think? I could probably do some more water in there, that's for sure. This guy could use some more water. I'm making water right now. I could definitely top this baby off. These tetras, these imperial tetras, I love these guys, and I'd really like to get them, spawning. These are wild caught from Peru as well, just like those nano blue tetras. And I just, we'll see if we can. These are finally mature. They're finally mature size, so you should be able to get them going. That looks like that's a female right there in the middle there. Female right there, you can see her belly. So anyways, there's that. This tank here, oh, I'm happy with it, but I'm not happy with it. We're gonna have to talk about that. There's some stuff that's gotta change in here as far as I'm concerned, but I know you guys think I'm nuts about that, but we're gonna talk about that in a further video, but it is looking good. Elliot's happy up in here. He could use a little bit more water. Hi, Elliot, say hi to the YouTubes. Hi, Elliot. How are you today? You're probably just hungry. You want foods. You want some foods. Okay, everybody is happy here. That thing, I think we're always going to see that. I think that's going to be like that until I totally tear down that tank. But everybody else is doing good. This tank is doing good. I was waiting for some comments from you guys in the past video, and still let me know in this video as well. What do you guys think I should do in this? I'm going to be watching these last two videos, checking out your comments. What do you guys think I should do? Some people have said a blackwater biotope, and I am kind of swinging towards a blackwater biotope in this aquarium, but please let me know. I'm curious what you guys think I should do with that 20-gallon tank in this more of my show rack. So I'd like to scape it. Right now it's just a quarantine tank for plants, and it's not looking very pretty. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of the Lee's Aquarium and Pet Product Triple Flow Box Filter. It's a really nice deal. You can do whatever you want with it, customize it and sterilize it and start all over again with it if you want to. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to all of you that like, comment, and share on all of my videos. This is 276 here on YouTube. Thank you to all of my new subscribers out there. I appreciate your support, and all of my Patreons out there, as well as all of my new members that I have, my new membership program as well through YouTube. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate everything. And remember guys, keep your tanks clean, your fish fed, and have fun.